Hello, how are you doing today? Welcome to today's live show. Yesterday we spoke about to know a good deal, how to know a good rental income deal that cash flows. Yesterday was the part one of the class. Today is the part two. One thing about making money in real estate is that you don't have to be emotional about it. Real investors don't invest based on emotions, they invest based on logic. They invest based on what the investment will do for them. And the major purpose of this class is to show you how you can discover a good rental income deal, how you can know it, how you can fund it, and how you can increase your equity, which is your ownership. It is when you have quality rental income deals. That's the way that you can make profitable income when it comes to real estate. Yesterday, we discussed about rental yield, which is calculated as the annual rent divided by the value of the property multiplied by 100. That will give us the annual rent. And we give an example of a property of 180 million. 180 million. So we did the math yesterday. If you're just joining us, you can go watch our video yesterday. So number one way of discovering a good deal that cash flow is through the rental yield. And one of the things I shared yesterday about the rental yield, one of the rules that guide rental yield is that the rental yield must be between 5% to 8%. The minimum should be 5% after calculating it, no matter what the property is. Just make sure that your rental yield is between 5%. Minimum, it can exceed 10%. It means you have found a really good deal. So that was number one. Number two, I explained about the cash flow. Cash flow, of course, cash flow is another important factor in finding a good deal. The environment must be an environment that people are ready to live in, people are ready to pay you for. It must be an environment that people love to stay. So that is what to bring the cash flow. Then number three, I explained about location. Of course, location has to be key. This will determine the value of a property over the years. Then number four, I mentioned about tenancy quality. It is how best that you position your property that will attract quality tenants to you, and it is quality tenant that will pay you for life. So of course, you have to take care of your tenants by making living very conducive for them. So number five, I mentioned about the market trend, which I explained about doing the research on the local market, knowing what the price of rent is going for in that particular location before you decide to plan your investment in that location. So what we are moving to today is number six, which is the property condition. Yeah, it is the property condition that will determine a well-maintained property with fewer repairs is needed here. So while you are looking for old buildings, ensure that you are looking for buildings that is well maintained with fewer repairs. Because if you are looking for buildings that will take you a lot of things to repair, this might eat into your profits and you might not even break even. So be very careful of that. Be very careful of that. Property condition. Property condition. Number six. Property condition. Be very careful of that while you're looking for a good deal. So number seven is exit strategy. Exit strategy. The first day you are getting into a deal, start thinking about the exit strategy. By the time I'm done with this deal, will people be happy to refinance it? Will people be happy to buy it? So the first time you enter into a deal, that first day, just think about the exit strategy. Will people be happy to buy this property at a particular value after I'm done using the property, or when I'm done with the investment? I feel like moving to another investment. Will people be happy to buy this property times 2 of what I purchased, or even more than? So think about the exit strategy while you are purchasing the property. So the final one, which is number 8, is capital growth potential. Number 8, capital growth potential. Yeah, the capital growth potential is another important factor while you are considering buying a rental property. Is it a location that has amenities? Is it a location that is surrounded by shopping malls, good access road, schools? You have to consider those things. Very important. You have to consider them while buying a property. You have to consider them because if you don't consider them, you will end up buying a property that after 15 years, no capital growth. You might make your rent back, but no capital growth. And when there's no capital growth, it will be difficult for you to resell because each investor is looking for deals. They ensure that they buy deals that has a good potential for capital growth. So the property you're buying must have a good potential for capital growth. Finding a good deal comes with you getting those deals that will 10x your money. Those deals that will give you a profit that is good enough for you to make back your capital. And I explained about the rule of 72. Now, let us quickly do an analysis. So I told you that I have a deal. That deal is going for the price, the value that, okay, it's a two-bedroom, 6 units. And rental income in that location is 2 million naira. So 2 times 12, 2 times 6 units, 2 million. 2m times 6 units. That's 12 million. 12m. And I explained that for you to know a good property. So now, okay, the property is 180 million. If we are to negotiate this property, we can negotiate it down to 150 million. 150 million. 150 million. So if we can negotiate down to 150 million, okay, now let's do the math. You know, I explained that annual rent divided by property value times 100. This will give us the rate. And don't forget that your rate must not be below 5%. So now let's quickly do the math. What is the annual rent of this property that is 180 million? Don't forget that it was 180 million. We got it at a discounted price of 150 million. If we are to get for 150 million, then we will now calculate. First thing you have to do is calculate the rate. The rate. Annual rent is 12 million. 12 million. That's 12 million. Divided by what is the property value? You know, we have discounted it to 150 million. Property value is 150 million. Multiplied by 100. Now let's do the math. So 12 million divided by 150 million. Please use your calculator. That will give us 0.08. 0.08. So 0.08 multiplied by 100, that will give us 8%. 8%. So now, you know, I explained that the rule of thumb says that if you are getting a rental income property, the first thing you must calculate is the annual yield. That is the rental income you'll be getting every year. It must not be below 5%. And for this property that I said I got for 180 million, if we have to negotiate it to 150 million, now we have to calculate the rate for us to know if it is a good deal or not. Rent in that particular area is 2 million, and we have 6 units of 2 bedroom in that property. So 2 million times 6, that's 12 million. Divided by, you know, I said we discounted, we renegotiated to 150 million from 180 million. Divided by 150 million, it gives us 0.08 multiplied by 100, and we get 8%. So, you know, we said it should be between 5% to 10% minimum. between 5% to 10%. And this deal that I got is giving us 8%. That shows that it's, number one, it's a good cash flowing property. Number two, I've seen the property. It is very, very decent, well tiled road, closer to the road. It ticks the box of property condition. It ticks the box of even exit strategy. It also ticks the box of capital growth potential. Capital growth potential. And how did I know this? This is because the Nigerian real estate market is still growing. We have 28 million housing deficit, and a lot of people will be looking for more affordable houses to stay. This 2 million naira, that is the rent today. In the next 10 years, the 2 million naira would have doubled. It would have doubled. It would have doubled. Which will now make the annual rent to be 24 million naira. You can even decide to exit the market next 10 years and resell to another investor at a better rate. And I explained that for you to double your money in any investment, you must apply the rule of 72. So now, if you are to apply the rule of 72 for this 150 million naira, well, let's try to know the amount of years it will take us to recover back our capital. Amount of years to take us to recover back our capital. Let's calculate that. So rule of 72, rule 72. The simplest way to calculate that is 72 divided by the annual, 72 divided by the rate, which was 8% that we got here. 72 divided by 8 is what? Let's make use of our math. 72 divided by 8. 72 divided by 8. 72 divided by 8. That's 9. That's 9. So it means in 9 years, we'll get back our capital. It means in 9 years, we would have made this 150 million naira back from the property. We will even make more because in 5 years, the rent will increase. In fact, it does not necessarily need to even get 5 years before the rent increases, because if any tenant park out of the house, maybe after like first year or second year, anybody that's coming again will not pay the same amount. So that should even tell you that even before the end of these 9 years, you would have recovered your money. So you can see that this is a good deal. If you want to discover how to fund any deal that will give you more profits, then you need to learn to apply this formula. I hope with this 3 points of mine, you've been able to understand how to know a good property that cash flows. Thank you for watching. If you are interested in that particular property I told you about, we are currently looking for investors. We are looking for investors that are looking at funding it. Kindly reach out to us on 081-011-56057 or send us an email, contact@propertyevangelist.com. Bye for now. See you tomorrow. And if you're looking at buying land, either in Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja, or Asaba, or Aba, any of these locations in Nigeria, you can reach out to us. And if you're also looking at getting a rental property in Texas, we also have property available in Texas, we have in Dubai, we have in the UK. Just reach out to us, tell us the exact deal that you want. Then you can set up a meeting, know your goals and your plans for your property investment, and start working on it. Remember that the goal is to make investing in real estate simple, and this is the best way, this is the simplest way it can be. You already understand how to know the right deal for whatever property you are investing in. So, all what you just need to do is to go all in, take action. Take action. Nothing happens until you take action. You have to take charge of your financial future. Without taking charge of your financial future, if you don't take charge of your financial future now, your children will suffer for it. Your children will suffer for it. So that's all for now. Bye.